Hi, boys and girls. A lot of my first grade readers have been telling me that they have read all of their black and white nonfiction books. So I just want to remind you that Reading A to Z has a lot of really wonderful nonfiction books. So does Literacy Footprints. But then it makes it a little hard when you are trying to use a post-it note to mark a key word. This video, I'm going to teach you how you can use your digital nonfiction books and do your assignment. While you're reading on your iPad, make sure that you have a paper or post-it notes and a pen or pencil nearby, because you'll be using that to record the key words that you are finding in your nonfiction books. If you're using a white piece of paper, go ahead and fold it into 4 sections. So you fold it in half, and then you fold it down the middle again. And when you open it up, you should have 4 boxes or 4 places where you can write some key words that you want to teach to either a parent or a sibling or a special stuffy. So I was reading about bats, a nonfiction book about bats on Learning A to Z. And one of the key words that I thought I should be sure to teach someone is the word cave, because bats live in a cave. So I found the word on my iPad and I wrote the word on my paper. And then so that I could remember and use it when I'm teaching my stuffed friend about bats, I drew a quick picture. So I just kind of drew, a cave is like, it's a place, like a hole inside of a big rock or mountain where bats go to sleep. And so I made a cave, and I wrote the word cave on my first box. So while I was reading the Bats book, I discovered 2 key words. I noticed cave, and so I drew a picture of that. I also noticed bugs. That's a key word for bats because it's what they eat. And then I read this really great book about Are Reindeer Real? And one of the things I learned was that reindeer only eat plants. Plants is a key word that goes with reindeer. And if I'm going to teach other friends about reindeer, I need to let them know that reindeer only eat plants. So I wrote that on this box. I have 1 empty box, and if I find another key word in another nonfiction book, I can put it right there so that I'm ready to teach my stuffed friend, my mom, my dad, my grandma, a friend at daycare. There's all kinds of people you could say, hey, would you come sit next to me? I want to teach you about bats, or I want to teach you about reindeer. Well, Rashid is the best listener I know, so I chose him today to be my partner so that I can teach him about the nonfiction books that I was reading about. And I've got my paper of keywords because you can't take a video on your iPad and show the digital books and the keywords at the same time. So I've got my keywords on my paper, and Rashid, the first book I read was about bats. And I want to tell you some interesting things that I learned about bats. They live in caves. And a cave is like a hole, a big hole that's in a rock or a mountainside. And that's where bats live, and they go in there during the day and they sleep because they are awake at night. And they hang from the roof of the cave. I also learned that bats eat bugs. Bugs are like, they're insects. They have 6 legs and they have antennae and they have 3 body parts. Bats think they're delicious. And then, Rashid, I read this book about reindeer. And I learned that even though reindeer are really big animals, the only thing they eat are plants. Plants are things like, grass and tree leaves. Reindeer don't eat any meat, just plants. Readers, now you know how to complete your keywords assignment if you decide to read your books on your iPad. Remember, just record those keywords on a paper and then you can share them with a friend.